Hey guys, Joe here of Joe Madden Sports. I am joined today by Arun, Indian Cowboy from Doc Sports, professional handicapper. Arun, how's the day treating you? And welcome to the show.
Hey Joe, good. How are you doing? How's life?
Life is good. It is Friday, so happy Friday to you as well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nice to get the weekend going, and yeah, it's another week in the books. You know what I mean? So it's good to finish off the week.
Absolutely. And get into that weekend card. We've got great games for the weekend as well. But before we get into some games right now, Arun, let's talk about you. Let's talk about how you got into the industry, how long you've been in the industry, how you came to work with Doc Sports.
Yeah, I've been with Doc Sports now, 18 years and 6 months now. So
Wow.
it's been a long time. And I started off. I was probably one of the only guys to ever start off with. I've worked for all the major services, right? I started off with back in the day at Wonder Dog Sports, and then I used to work for Brandon Lang when the movie came out, and then I used that to pay for my schooling. So I got a doctorate and a master's in biostatistics. So that's how that came out. And so this was just a way to pay for school when I was younger. And one thing led to another. And we started using the biostatistics for, doing algorithms, right? And models
Yeah.
and stuff. And then, that was during the time of Moneyball. And yeah, you started getting regression models and you started getting value based on odds. So you started doing predictive analysis. And yeah, next thing you know, Doc Sports called and said, "We'd like you to come work for us," and it's been history ever since. And 18 years. And I used to post on a website called Covers from back in the day,
Yeah.
and it was yeah, it was like the threads that this was 18 and a half years ago. It was getting like 15,000 views, right? So
Wow.
it got popular over the time, and then that's when Wonder Dog, and then Brandon Lang, and then Docs. So yeah, it's been a long time, and here we are, almost 20 years later.
That is crazy. So did you come from a very sports orientated family or a family that bets?
Yeah, no, I come from a very much of
Yeah.
a doctored family. But my grandfather moved here, in the 1970s, and he was a physician, and so it's kind of always, supposed to be kind of that doctor math side of things, and I still teach. Actually, I still teach biostatistics and stuff like that. But yeah, but the world is changing. People don't do just one thing anymore, right?
Yeah,
People have multiple
exactly.
jobs and multiple careers and stuff. So yeah.
What is your favorite part then about this industry? Because it's changed so much in the last 18 years.
Yeah, I mean, nothing to take away from Stu Feiner and the boys back in the day. I still watch some of those old 1888 commercials and stuff, and they make me laugh. Yeah, I think the difference now is that it's so mainstream.
Yeah.
You watch ESPN, there's obviously chalk shows, and there's other things there, and I think it's good. I mean, I think when you have like, I don't believe in the stock market, right? In general, like, I feel like I don't know how PG your show is, but I feel like some CEO that's sitting in some desk, and he's got some secretary underneath his desk or whatever. He's got so much more knowledge on what's going. He's got so
Yeah.
much more knowledge on what's going on with his company than the layman does when he invests in his company, right? So the information that like trickles down is so like old news. So everybody who invests in Home Depot and IBM, they're so behind the eight ball in the latest news, right? So it's like I think the stock market in a lot of ways like a Ponzi scheme. I don't trust it. But sports betting, it's one of those things where you watch it on live TV. These refs get torched if they miss a call. Everybody's watching these games. There's nothing shady, right? There's no backdoor dealings going on. Corporate CEOs selling their stock before it goes, before they sell off or whatever. There's no shadiness. Everybody's watching the game. These players are watching these players are playing the game. Maybe the injury reports could come out a little bit earlier, but all in all, sports betting is much more transparent than the stock market, which I believe is a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there. I've always thought that. So that's great. I love how you got into this business. I can't believe you've been in the business that long. It's incredible. And I know you're hot right now in baseball. You told me the record before we got on. I didn't write it down. Can you tell everyone how hot you guys are rolling in baseball right now?
Yeah, we've been updating on Twitter and stuff, and obviously Docs tracks our spreadsheets and stuff. But yeah, we're 35-15 to start the year. We might be 36-15 actually, but we're sitting around 71% or so. We're usually do about a 4-unit play, 4-star plays, and we're sitting around plus 9,600 on the year. So yeah, we're in June. We're still at 70%. We'll see what happens today. I'm actually going to give our baseball premium play for free for those who watch your show today. So.
Excellent. Well, I know there's 2 games that you wanted to talk. You're looking at the Seattle Mariners versus Texas. What are you thinking here? We've got Seattle coming in here as a favorite at minus 115, Texas at minus 105, and the total is at 8.
Yeah, I like Texas today. I've been high on Texas for quite a while now. It is scary to go against Logan Gilbert, right? He's got a 5-2 record with a 2.29 ERA. But I love going against pitchers that pitched phenomenal in their last game. I believe people have letdowns. He went 7 innings, 4 hits, and no runs against Houston. That's really good. So after you dominate Houston, how do you get up to face the Rangers? Even though Texas is pretty hot right now, it's tough to get up for him. He also, late April, he went 6 innings, 6 hits, and no runs against the Rangers. Obviously, the Rangers will get a second beat on his pitches today. And I think he'll probably struggle today. Plus, it's been a long time since he went back-to-back games without giving home runs, right? Starting on May 1st, he went 1-0, 1-0, 2-0. So he's probably going to give up a home run today. Texas is a fabulous place for obviously for hitters. You combine that with Texas. I think Texas comes out of back-to-back losses, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 1-3 and 3-4. They lost to Tampa Bay. They've only put up 4 runs in the last 2 games. Prior to that, they put up around 28, 30 runs in 5 games. So they're going to bounce back. They're coming off one of their lowest totals of the year at 1 run after facing a good Tampa Bay pitching staff. So Texas is now fired up. They're off back-to-back losses. They're facing a Seattle pitcher who comes off probably one of his best starts of the year. Plus, Seattle put up 7 runs in their last game. They beat Baltimore 7-6. So they're in for a classic letdown. Plus, Texas lost 2 of 3 to Seattle earlier this year too. So that's going to motivate them as well. And it's been a while since Texas has lost 3 straight in a row on top of all of this. And the Mariners, I think, if I'm not mistaken, are 6-15 in their last 21 road games. And Texas rolls in around 6-2 in their last 8 as a quote-unquote underdog, even though they're a small favorite today. But when they're less valued, they're 6-2.
Okay, so Texas it is in that matchup. I'm going to take your word for it. What about when we look at Arizona and Pittsburgh? We know the Pirates just dominated over the Dodgers, winning all 3 of those games in their last series. What are you thinking for them here at home? Burbaker is starting for them. We got Kelly starting for Arizona.
Yeah, I like the under here. I like the fact that Kelly's lost 4 in a row, and he comes off of an effort where he gave up 7 hits and 3 runs against the Dodgers, right? We actually pitched pretty well. He hasn't been pitching that bad, but he's obviously got a 3.57 ERA. And, I think he probably bounces back here. You can't keep losing because eventually you're going to get the yank, if you will. And then you have Brubaker rolling in here. He's 0-4. He's yet to pick up a win all year long. He pitched really well against San Diego, 6 hits and 1 run, helped his team win, 5 hits and 1 run against Colorado. But I think he's ready to finally win his first game too. Obviously. So, I wouldn't be surprised if both these guys pitched, pretty well today. And, 8 is an interesting number because I think the last time I think I saw 8, normally you don't get an 8 total for Arizona. It's been a while. Normally it's like 8.5, 9, 11, etc. I think Kelly, I also think Pittsburgh has a huge letdown. You can't just beat the Dodgers 3 times in a row and then come back home and get excited for Arizona. So I think the offense cools off a little bit today too. I like the under there between both teams. I think both these guys are going to be motivated with, obviously Brubaker trying to pick up his first win, and then you have Kelly trying to win his first game in the last 5 games. Under is 4-0 for the Diamondbacks following a loss as well, and the under is also 10-3 for the Pirates when they are facing a total between 7 and 8.5.
Definitely sounds like a strong play to that under. I like it a lot. I hope you keep up that great winning streak that you have been on. Now, if people are looking for your best picks, do they just head on over to DocSports.com?
Yeah, you go to Doc Sports, you can find Indian Cowboy there and a lot of other great handicappers there. And you can always hit us up on Twitter. We're always updating our stuff there.
Awesome. And where can they find you on Twitter?
At Indian Cowboy Pix. It ends in PIX.
Excellent. I want to thank you so much for joining me here today. Really appreciate your time. We'll definitely be having you back on again shortly.
Sounds good. Take care, Joe.
Thank you. Take care. Bye now.